passion simmered, and they laid in bed to figure out what it meant. How could we even be together under these circumstances? For these past few days you have been a gentleman and shown me you have a good heart. Then why can't we leave? Or you could stay. If you were with me, you would be extended family. You'd be one of us. Zoo put her hand on William's chest to feel the beating of his heart, to accent her words. It's a one-sided love, she said. So I should leave everything I know for you, William said with skeptical sarcasm. If I'm your prisoner, you may as well put me in the pens with the others. That will never happen. What do you do with them? They all go to the Great Spirit. You kill them? We didn't used to. Well, not this many. We need the souls to get his attention. Take me to him. I want to see this thing with my own eyes. You can't, unless you're his offering. You've risked nothing to be with me. Sue rolled over in bed with nothing else to say. Those words were final and searing. In the courtyard, Ilse sat on a lawn chair with her toy dog. Lord Bristol took aim at clay pigeons with his hunting rifles. Two servants stood attentively at the ready to cater to their needs. William crossed into their field of vision. Where are you going on this fine night? Said Ilse to William. Nowhere, just on a run, he said without fanfare. Would you like to participate in a hunt tonight? Lord Bristol said as he dead-shot a clay pigeon. Oh, what is the prey? William said with some measure of interest. A few of the human stock in the pens, Ilse came back with a casual tone. Why are you doing that? William dared to wonder. He doesn't see fit to bless us with children, so my father, our father, cannot be reborn, said Ilse, as if the answer was obvious. We have been killing more than we have for years. Bodies is not what he wants, William said with confidence. Then what is? Ilse said, posing the very obvious next response. Not this. This is to the point of excess, William said. As Lord Bristol reloaded, this is what has to happen. Then he changed his focus to his servants waiting in the wings to become useful. I'd like to make this sporting. He snapped his fingers, and his servants brought 2 trunks worth of high-tech rifles, which seemed to comically contradict any concept of fair play. William walked off into the wilderness, with Ilse and Lord Bristol shooting clay pigeons with automatic weapons. As William approached the mysterious clearing that oozed unearthly fog, he noticed that the surrounding plant life was no longer wild and vivid, but dead and more menacing than it had ever been in the past. Tara emerged from the brush to intercept him. He's more cryptic and ornery than ever, she said to William. You spoke to him? Briefly. I love my family, but they are going too far. They don't understand what he wants. And you know better? I don't know. This can't be what he wants. If it is, will you live with it? William didn't answer. He instead walked into the midst of the cave mouth. Atara watched and heard the subtle sounds of wind growing stronger, until it seemed to make something that felt very much like a disembodied voice. William woke Zoo up with an odd determination in his face. We have to go. The little Asian woman's face contorted to fear, and she scooted to the end of the bed. She obviously sensed this was it. This was when he finally tired of playing at civility and was to be fed to his god. William didn't give her any assurances and had to all but drag her through the mansion. He took her to the garage and dumped her into an SUV. Before the door on the passenger side closed, he said, You said I risk nothing. Now I risk everything. Before he hopped into the driver's seat and pulled off, William drove through the country until it made way to the lights of the unsleeping city of New York. He stopped in front of a 5-star hotel and the staff began to do their work, cleaning away luggage and car alike. Where are we? Asked Zoo. New York, William answered as they entered the hotel proper. We'll be safe here for a while? Zoo inquired. William didn't confirm, but he smiled. The two entered an opulent hotel room, not much different from his room in the mansion, except for the view of New York's skyline. I drove a lot, but tomorrow I'll get you new clothes, said William, as if he were finally living life on his own terms. Zoo kissed William. We can start a new life. William nodded eagerly, but soon sat down on a couch and slipped away into sleep. When William woke from his deep slumber, he looked out the window, realizing he slept until it was dark. Zoo wasn't there. He found no sign of her, or his wallet. Zoo sat in the airport waiting for a plane to shepherd her back to Shanghai. When she leaned back, William sat next to her with silent, accusing eyes. You never loved me, did you? He said with a tone of underlying rage. Zoo attempted to sidestep the question. How did you find me? William touched her hair and smelled it sentimentally. I could find you anywhere. Why did you do it? I wanted to live. I suppose that it could never have worked under the circumstances. I told you that, but you didn't believe me. Why don't you let me go? I love you. Then you'd let me go. I can't. All I have to do is scream, and you'll have to let me go, she said, taking a moment for him to consider the high traffic of people walking amongst them in the airport. If you scream, you're gonna get a lot of people killed. I'm not going back. Walk out with me. Sue began to cry, seeing the futility of her situation. Don't do that, please, she pleaded. William took Sue under the arm and forcefully stood up with her. The little woman began to struggle and fight back. Their scene couldn't go unnoticed amongst the crowd. Don't do this, William pleaded in a calm and even tone. William's thoughts led him to the words of the night before when he entered the domain of the Great Spirit. He recalled all the forms of life that once thrived, dying all around the spirit. What once was a powerful torrent was now a trickling stream. The ever-present mist swirled about his feet, and the stagnant pool in the cavern shook as the disembodied voice spoke. William frantically whirled around while he spoke, not knowing in what direction to focus his voice. How many more people have to die in your name? William demanded of a creature that took no orders. Wind kicked up, and the mist angrily enveloped him. A big voice came from everywhere.
How many people die every day for no reason?
Said the omnipresent voice. What is it you want to bring father back? William said bluntly and plain, tired of the games and riddles.
You have sacrificed, but the sacrifice means nothing if what you give is of no consequence. Your pack no longer values life, so therefore life, in and of itself, cannot be enough.
So it doesn't matter how many people die, it will not matter.
It is as I said.
So if we care for nothing, then nothing will appease you.
I will slumber into death, and so will your pack. They will wither and die, and will not be reborn. Nothing was meant to live forever. Maybe you should let them die for the sake of symmetry.
They are my family.
And they will in time die, as will you.
How soon?
I have no concept of time, for they will perish as nature meant them to do so, and will not return.
Can I leave? I have found... William paused, as if he didn't know exactly how to say it. Love.
Of course you can. Choice is the meaning of life.
What happens to the family?
They will be left.
Yeah, William said with a sarcastic chuckle. The young wolf took but a moment to think before he exited the cavern.